Hello YouTubers, this is Y.Chang. Welcome to lesson number 3. Now, I'm a scientist. Much as I hate to play the science card when it comes to acquiring a second language, but I still want to point out the importance of immersion. That is, prior research has shown that, say, if an individual wants to learn Spanish, it's more likely to be quicker and more efficient for the person to pick up the Spanish language if he or she lives in a Spanish-speaking environment. That is why people go to Spain to attend schools and take Spanish lessons, and that is why people with Spanish-speaking parents at home are more likely to speak better Spanish, like a native speaker. But then again, I am not asking you to travel all the way to China or to Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, etc., etc. But the thing is, have you seen an old film or movie called The Color Purple? One of my all-time favorites. If you haven't watched it, please go and watch it. Well, Whoopi Goldberg won an Oscar award because of the film. Anyway, there is a scene that is pretty smart. By the way, if you haven't watched it, again, go and watch it. Whoopi Goldberg is just fantastic. Well, she was born into a poor family with a younger sister who was actually more beautiful than her and a dead mother. Her sister is literate, that is, she receives an education and she can write, she can read, whereas Whoopi is kept at home by her father to assume the role of a mother. That is why Whoopi Goldberg in that movie has no education whatsoever, and therefore she can't read or write, and so on and so forth, a poor girl. But her sister comes up with a brilliant idea by sticking paper slips onto family items. Say, for example, oven, window, door, etc., etc., whilst words indicating those objects are written on those paper slips so as to create a natural learning environment. That is immersion for you guys. I want you to do the same, but we will start gently and slowly. You don't have to pack and move to Asia, to China and Taiwan. Don't worry. By now, you know how to say some nouns, some words like computer, television, telephone, and video games. Write the pinyin and the English meaning of the words on post-it notes. We have post-it notes, right? And try to create a Mandarin-speaking environment. So whenever you see the post-it notes, you simply remind yourselves of the words. And also, you'll be able to make sentences with the verbs and actions that I taught you in my previous video clips. But don't find it silly without even trying. The effectiveness of the method has been supported by a lot of evidence, and it definitely saves you a lot of money required to travel to China, right? Okay, now I want to teach you a new verb, a new action, that is to buy. In Chinese we say 买, 买, to buy, 买, 买. Good. And previously I taught you two other verbs. One is to want, 想要, 想要, the third tone and the fourth tone. 想要, it means to want, 想要. And to like, 喜欢, the third tone and the first tone. 喜欢, 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 喜欢. Now, just an example. This is a post-it note, right? You see, you put down the pinyin, 电脑, I hope it's clear, and computer below it, and then this is my computer. You just take out your computer and put your post-it note onto it, And whenever you use the computer, you see this post-it note, you pronounce this word, 电脑, it means computer. It reminds you of how to say that in Chinese, and you'll be able to use the verbs and this noun to make your own Chinese sentences. You see how it goes? This is called immersion. You're trying to create this natural environment in which you learn a particular language, that is Mandarin. Okay, so whenever you see a post-it, you make a sentence using the object indicated on the post-it. For example, I want to buy a computer. How do you say that in Chinese? 我想要买电脑。我想要买电脑。As I said previously, Chinese grammar is super easy when combining two actions or verbs. Just now we have I want to buy, right? I want and buy, two actions and two verbs. That is a concept of infinitive. But forget about the jargon. For example, in English, as we just mentioned, well, you should say want to buy, but in Chinese, to, T-O, is not necessary at all. We combine all actions and verbs at one go without having to use to as a connector, so to speak. So essentially, when we want to say want to buy, in Chinese, we just say want buy. And by extension, if you want to say in English want to go to buy, in Mandarin we say want go buy. We forget about the to. I will give you more examples in future, don't worry about it. But for now, let's stick with what I have taught you and presumably what you have learned from my previous video clips. Okay, how do you say she wants to buy a telephone? 她想要买电话。她想要买电话。It means she wants to buy a telephone, but essentially in Chinese you just have to say she want buy telephone. And also another interesting thing to mention is that in English we have this I want, you want, she wants, he wants, it wants, but in Chinese we don't have that. We just sort of have the same verb and we keep it constant throughout all kind of objects or pronouns. We like consistency. That makes the language that is Mandarin so simple to pick up. Again, let's practice. She wants to buy a telephone. 她想要买电话。她想要买电话。And how do you say I want to buy a telephone? 我想要买电话。我想要买电话。Again, as I said, in Chinese we don't have this S concept throughout. We like consistency, alright? And how do you say he likes to buy video games? 他喜欢买电玩。他喜欢买电玩。And then 他喜欢买电玩. Another bonus word that is not or no in Mandarin for you to express unwillingness to do something. All you have to do is to add 不, which is no, in front of the verb, and you're all set. For example, 你不喜欢我. See if I can. 你不喜欢我. You do not like me. It means you do not like me. 你不喜欢我。你不喜欢我。他不想要买电视。他不想要买电视。他不想要买电视。我不想要你。我不想要你。I don't want you. 我不想要你。他不喜欢买电玩。She doesn't like to buy video games. 他不喜欢买电玩。他 不喜欢买电玩。Okay, now go ahead and create your own post-it notes. And whenever you see a post-it, make a sentence of the word and immerse yourself in